My name is Margo Lang. I'll be doing my final for mindful discovery for a J-term. For our first yoga pose, we will be doing Sukhasana, which is feet together, legs open wide. And you want to put your hands either on your knees or on your feet. And to help this pose, you want to at least get your knees and your legs down to the ground as far as you can. If you can't do that, just hold it and then stay in this pose for at least a minute. If it helps, you can wiggle your legs to see if it helps you go further down or to not put your, not to focus too hard on the pose, because it's a really simple pose. If you're flexible, you can help push your elbows down with your knees to see if they can get closer to the ground. After this pose is done, gently release your knees up and then back to a normal position. For our next pose, we will be doing Vishta Konasana, which is a seated angle pose. For this pose, you want your legs open like that and have your knees straight and your feet upwards. And this pose, you should feel it in your hamstrings if you are tight, and then in your glutes, maybe. Help with this pose, you can help push yourself up. If you have a wall like what I have, it helps keeping your leg back so you can go further in. And if you don't, you can just use your hands to push you forward. And then you want to hold this for a minute. For this pose, your hands could be behind you or in front of you. Doesn't really matter, just as long as you're comfortable. And to get out of this pose, you also want to just bring your legs in slowly so you don't hurt yourself. For our next pose, we will be doing Ardha Matsurendra, which is the half twist pose. For this pose, I would say bend, get your left leg and bend it so you make a four with your legs, and have your right leg have it go over the left so it's like that. And then if you get into this pose and you don't feel anything, or if you do, it helps if you get the same leg that's over the leg and the same arm and push it so you're twisting your back out. And then your butt should be to the floor, shouldn't be leaning. You should have both glutes placed on the ground. You hold this for a minute and hold this for 30 seconds and then switch sides. Want to make sure you're breathing in these poses. Sometimes you'll do stuff and you don't think you're breathing, and afterwards you dying. Now I'm going to switch legs. So the right leg comes to the floor and the left leg goes on top, and then your left arm will touch your left knee and you'll twist the other way. once this pose is done, you can just unwind your legs and pull them out forwards. For our next pose, we can do Savasana, which is the table pose. And you want to get on all fours for this and have your hands underneath your shoulders and then your legs underneath your hips, so about hip width distance apart. And this is just like an easy pose on all fours. It holds for about a minute. Make sure your hands are spread apart and you're not placing all your weight right here, but on the palms of your hands, so all weight is distributed easily. This pose is also called chair pose. After this pose, we'll be going to cat pose and cow pose. They go hand in hand with each other. So for cow, you want to lift the arch of your back up towards the sky and have your head hang down towards the floor. Hold this for about 30 seconds. And for the cow one, you want to reach your head to the sky and arch your back so that your tailbone is up like this. And reach to the sky, or if that straightens your neck, you can look forwards at a comfortable position. Hold this for about 30 seconds too. For our next pose will be downward facing dog. So you get on your hands and knees to begin it. Get on your hands and knees to begin. And tuck your toes so they're touching the floor. And then you want to get up like this and hold it. And then if your back isn't like straight, you can also bend your knees to get more stretching in your back, or you can straighten them. And want your feet hip width distance apart. And during the pose, you want to try and get your heels towards the floor more. Try that for a little bit. And if you want to, you can put your toes up and see how that feels. After downward dog, we'll be doing child's pose. Child's pose, you want to get on in this seated position, and you want to touch your big toes together and spread your legs apart, and then You just want to go down as far as you can and reach your arms forwards. And if you can't touch your head to the floor, do that. If you can, just rest your head on a pillow so your head doesn't get too much strain. And then this pose helps relieve tension in the back and helps with the hamstrings. Hold this for about a minute. Want to make sure you're breathing in these poses too. After child's pose, we will be doing Uttanasana, and this is a standing forward pose. This pose you want to stand up, and then you want to reach towards your feet, have hip width distance apart. See how far you can go down. And if you can rest your hands to your toes, you put them on your shins or even your knees if you need to. And you want to put all your weight forwards, and it's supposed to help relieve tension in your calves, which you will feel it, and also in the back. So just hang your arms forward and have them loose and relaxed. And if you want, you can bend your knees if that helps, or keep them straight. And for straightening forward pose, you want your weight in your heels so you can lift up your toes at any time, so you're not leaning too much forward, or else you're going to fall forwards. Roll up slowly, have your back leading you up. And then for our next pose, we will be doing the triangle pose. This pose you also want to be standing. This pose you want to be your feet a little bit more than hip width distance apart. So you're like in a second position. Reach your right arm out and your left arm will like follow. It's gonna touch your ankle or the floor or your calf, wherever you are with this pose. You should feel it in the left side of your back and then in your left arm because we're pulling that way. Hold this for about a minute. This helps stretch the sides of your back where you don't really stretch as much. Hold this until we switch to the other side. Move to the other side, reach your left arm out and have it go towards your leg, and your right arm should be up in the air. Want to keep your shoulders square, and so would your hips be square? come up slowly from that pose and shake out your back and your legs. For our next pose will be down towards the ground. And you'll be doing a high lunge pose. So this pose, you'll start with any leg you want. Always starting with my left leg. So you're gonna want to have your leg, your knee over your feet, and have your right leg out like this. And you don't want your knee to the ground, you want it up. So you can feel it in your hamstring. And for this pose, you can have your hand on the ground, both hands on the ground, or one on your knee. It doesn't matter. We want to hold this for about 30 seconds, so we switch to the other leg. Switch to the right leg. Put your right knee over your right foot, and then go down to your lunge. You gently come back up to standing position. And for this next pose, putting tree pose, which is putting either one of your legs, I'll start with my right leg up to your inseam or to right next to your knee. And you're gonna put your hands together and hold it for about 30 seconds so you go to the next side. And tree pose, help you with your balance. Sitting on one foot. And the balance, you want all your balance, all your weight around, so you don't want it to the toes or to the heel or to the sides of your foot because you're gonna fall over. This helps having your hands together as if you're a tree. Gonna switch to the other side, put your left leg up, and hold it from here. To finish with this pose, you have completed the yoga video for beginners, and I hope you like it.